Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us out here. Wonderful to be here today to celebrate a milestone occasion, groundbreaking of the city's and the East County's first homeless navigation center. We have a number of dignitaries here, a number of speakers today that you're going to hear from. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce Mayor Al Adam, Mayor of the City of Thousand Oaks, to kick us off today.
Thank you all for coming. Really, this is a very significant groundbreaking here in the city of Thousand Oaks. You know, to me, leadership is about problem solving. And today, thanks to the work of many people, as you can see, we're about to provide some answers and some hope for those that are suffering homelessness in our city. And I have to tell you, this has been a top priority for the City Council and for our staff for a number of years. And today marks the first real step that we're going to have to provide transitional shelter to the unhoused. And certainly we can't do it alone. I want to thank the county for assisting us with a $5.6 million state grant. That was great. Really helps out. The money is good. And their ongoing operational commitment to the facility, as well as some of the partners I just mentioned, Dignity Moves, Many Mansions, Hope the Mission. You're going to really help us make this navigation center come to life. So we're standing on some city property here that's going to be repurposed from an old parking lot to something really important. Going to provide temporary housing with 30 modular units. They're comfortable spaces. I've seen them for individuals and for couples for that matter. And it's a navigation center, so there'll be access to jobs, there'll be help with substance abuse, and most importantly, transitioning to permanent housing. That's what this is all about. And so the project's going to take a village approach, but these won't be for drop-ins. These folks will be referred by the county, by nonprofits, by law enforcement. So they'll be heavily vetted before they come in. And speaking of law enforcement, so I'm going to thank our vulnerable population officers. They have worked tirelessly here in Thousand Oaks with the homeless folks. And this center gives them one more option to get people out of tents and sleeping bags and on the road to recovery. Let's hear it for that group. They've done a great job. They really have. And ultimately, this navigation center could expand from 30 to 50 units and be even more effective. So this is not just a win for the unhoused people here in the community. I mean, no one wants to see the encampments in the city. No one wants to see the hardships that are endured there. I've seen it. I've toured it. Now we have a proven path that's going to use a little compassion and a little innovation, and we're going to elevate those people that are trapped in this cycle of despair. And we're going to make Thousand Oaks a better city for it. Thank you all for coming. I'm going to introduce to you our County Supervisor, Jeff Gorell. He'd like to make a few remarks. Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you, Mayor.
You got it, buddy.
Well, good morning, Thousand Oaks. What an amazing day. I'm honored to stand up here and represent a leadership team that's in the attendance. Some inspirational leaders that have helped deliver this with the city from the county, Dr. Savette Johnson, and our Continuum of Care team, as well as our community development team. It's Christy Madden, Jennifer Harkey, Chelsea Russell, all here today. These are the folks that really should be up here. These are the folks that have done all the heavy lifting. And if you just join me in giving a round of applause to these county leaders for doing what they've done. But the names that I just listed, we are here today to say really congratulations. Congratulations to this community. The Navigation Center is a model that works. It's a proven national model that brings people in at the toughest times of their life and helps them with a plan, not just a roof over their head, not just with a list of services, but with an individualized, personalized plan to help them lift themselves up and get back on track to having the life that we know our unhoused neighbors want to have. So congratulations for this. This is an amazing thing. I do want to share an interesting bit of data for you, and that is this is the first homeless organization in the East County. Nothing in the East County has been done like this yet except for right here. And I want to congratulate you for being trailblazers and being the first in our community. Thank you very much. The county, nothing can happen in homelessness without all hands on deck. The city needs to be there. Law enforcement needs to be there. The county with its services and its resources. The state of California needs to be there. And this is an example of when all of those organizations and partners come together. The county is so honored to not just be a brick and mortar supporter, but an operational and longevity supporter with financing, and also referrals. We're going to be there helping with our behavioral health teams, and our human services teams are going to be available to help with referrals to help the individuals who will call this place home. So we are so honored, and I'm thrilled to be able to live in a community and represent a community that comes together like this and does such amazing things. So thank you, each and every one of you, for what you've done. And with that, these things cannot be done with just government alone. They need to be done with our partners, our community-based organizational partners who do it so well, who have that bedside manner, who have the trust of the community. And one of those organizations is Hope the Mission. I've had the honor and privilege of knowing and serving with Che Ramirez, who's here today to represent Hope the Mission for years in the fight to help those in our community who are unhoused. So with that, please welcome to the podium my friend from Hope the Mission, Che Ramirez.
Thank you for that, Supervisor Guerrero, and good morning. What a beautiful, warm day. I'll keep my speech short and sweet so we don't melt out here over time, but happy to be here representing Hope the Mission. Joined today by my colleague, someone who'll be involved very intimately with this site, our Senior Director of Regional Programs, Elisabel Castillo, are here with us today. Unfortunately, our CEO, Ken Kraft, and President Rowan Van Sleeve couldn't be here today. They are currently on a 3,500-mile bike ride from the Valley to D.C. To raise funds and awareness for homelessness solutions. I just checked in with them. They just touched ground in Oklahoma City, so still got a little ways to go, but they send their best and couldn't be here today. But I can't tell you how much joy, personal joy especially, it brings me to be here today for this project in my home county of Ventura County. I grew up just on the other side of the grade. This is a project that will impact the lives of our most vulnerable individuals experiencing homelessness and put them on a pathway to stability and hope. And that's really the key word, hope. Hope that one can be resilient in the face of hardship and trauma. Hope that no matter how hard things may seem today, tomorrow is always a new day to fulfill your potential. And hope that one can build a sense of community and belonging and value. And that's really what we pride ourselves in here at Hope the Mission. Because as we celebrate 15 years and tremendous growth of truly moving at the speed of need, it's not just what you do, but how you do it. It's really has enabled us to impact so many lives over the years. And it's really about providing that sense of community that all makes the difference in this work. And we're inspired to do that in partnership with all of you here today. I want to thank the City of Thousand Oaks, the Mayor, the County of Ventura, Supervisor Guerrero, Many Mansions, and Dignity Moves for the opportunity to be a part of this amazing project together. And with that, I have the joy and honor to introduce the co-founder and Chief Real Estate Officer, Joanne Price with Dignity Moves. Thank you.
Wow, it's so great to see everybody come out for this event. I really want to thank the City of Thousand Oaks for your trust in Dignity Moves and your opportunity to partner. And I also want to applaud Thousand Oaks for making this first interim housing community and in a style congruent to the homeless crisis before us. These projects, you don't just say, hey, I want it to happen. They take many, many months, as everyone who's been mentioned this morning, and hard work to get to this point. So let's give everyone a round of applause for that. And as a reminder, California has the largest homeless population, and almost 70% of its homeless population are unsheltered and lack the basic services, basic needs, basic shelter, compared to 20% of the rest of the country. And it's our unsheltered neighbors that are at elevated risk of homicide, assault, disease, infectious diseases, chronic homelessness. And this is an opportunity to bring people indoors because we know that the cost to build permanent housing is extraordinary and it takes many, many decades to build. And we just don't have the new resources and the time to wait for that to happen. And so we need to build quickly and at scale, and that's exactly what we're doing today. And we are catalyzing the movement to end unsheltered homelessness. If I can just relate a little bit about Dignity Moves, we were born out of the pandemic. We have built 415 units, 204 of which has opened in the last couple of weeks. Thousand Oaks is the first of 615 units that is breaking ground this quarter. And it's making an impact. The city of San Jose, for example, with their transitional housing that's being built here today, last year they saw a decrease in their unsheltered population. It was a 10.7% decrease compared to a 10.3% increase across the rest of the state. So that proves this model is working. I applaud you for using this model, for working with us. And together we can end unsheltered homelessness and do the right thing.
Thank you, Joanne. I am Rick Schrader, a president of Many Mansions. Unlike my good friend Ken Kraft, it would never occur to me to bike across the country. I'm not sure why he's doing that. Some of you saw me just a couple weeks ago. I was on crutches, but I'm much better now. But it's been an honor and a privilege to be part of an organization whose mission is to provide members of the community with affordable housing and life-changing services, and to be part of a collaboration that has finally brought a navigation center to this community most in need, to those members most in need. And this is a significant day for the city of Thousand Oaks and for all those who remain unhoused. For those that do not know, Many Mansions is a nonprofit, affordable housing and service provider. Our organization began right here in the city of Thousand Oaks 45 years ago. And in fact, it was on April 20th, next week, 1979, that the residents of Thousand Oaks all first met in Frank Schillow's office to talk about what they could do to help those in need of housing in Thousand Oaks. And I want to acknowledge Frank Schillow is here in the audience, our founder of Many Mansions. And it was at that meeting that 23 members of the community came, members of the city council, city staff, housing authority, businesses, social service agencies, schools, service clubs. They came together, and it was out of that and their discussions that Many Mansions was organized as a nonprofit later that year. And from the very beginning, Many Mansions has been a leader in helping those most in need of housing. In 1988, in conjunction with the city of Thousand Oaks, we opened up our first housing called Schillow Gardens, named after Frank Schillow. In 1998, with the support of the city of Thousand Oaks, we opened up Stoll House. Stoll House was the first transitional housing facility in Ventura County for homeless families. 2002, we opened up Essa Village, which was the first permanent supportive housing, also in Ventura County. And then we also opened later Richmond Terrace and Hillcrest Villas. And indeed, at one time, the city of Thousand Oaks had the most units of permanent supportive housing of any community in Ventura County. They're very quiet about it, but they did. And from there on, Many Mansions has opened up other permanent supportive housing, helping transition-aged youth, homeless veterans, those living in encampments, homeless families with children, and soon-to-be homeless seniors. And yet there was something missing. What was missing was that necessary link between the streets and permanent housing. What was missing was a navigation center. Now, over the years, it's gone by different names: interim housing, emergency shelter, bridge housing. But we've been advocating for that type of housing almost since we began, because we see the necessity of that link in bringing people from the streets into the housing. But for change to take place, it takes collaboration, it takes foresight, and it takes leadership. And that's what we have here with the Navigation Center. We have collaboration, foresight, and leadership. So I want to thank our partners, Dignity Moves and Hope of the Mission, for their close collaboration in this project. I think it was someone, it might have been Mayor Adam at the City Council, that said that we have a dream team in this process. And indeed, we certainly do. I want to thank the County of Ventura for their foresight. It was their foresight in creating the continuum of care, the coordinated entry system, their support for the development of navigation centers throughout Ventura County. That's gone a long way in helping getting people off the street into that housing. We're seeing the results for that. And lastly, I want to thank the City of Thousand Oaks for their leadership. A homeless navigation center in the City of Thousand Oaks. Who would have thought that possible just 5 years ago? But I did because I saw a change in the attitude and in the approach of the City Council, the city staff, and the residents of Thousand Oaks. They wanted something done about homelessness, and they've done that. So with that, I want to thank everyone. This is just the beginning. We have a long way to go, but this navigation center, once developed, once operational, is going to serve the community for many years. We have a lot of work ahead of us, but I think we're up to the task. So thank you very much.
All right, as we prepare for the groundbreaking, I just would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge just a couple of folks here. My partner and friend, Ingrid Hardy, is our assistant city manager. This project simply would not happen without her efforts and her resolve through the years. It's no secret. Thank you. It's no secret that these projects are extremely complex. They're extremely challenging. They're fraught and they're frustrating. And I have to tell you that that we have had to persevere as we've worked through challenges, and that means that we need partners. And Dr. Svet Johnson is the best partner I could hope for at the County of Ventura, and she's been there for us. The resolve that the City Councils, current and past, have shown to move this forward, and the Board of Supervisors to step up. They are financial partners, not just in the construction, but in the operation of this facility. All of the partners that you've heard from here today, none of this happens without a harmony across all those elements. And I just want to acknowledge that and thank those folks. I also want to say an important note of thanks to our partners at Thousand Oaks Police Department, the Ventura County Sheriff's Department. Our team has worked through years and years serving in addressing homelessness with compassion and enforcement. And it's been incredibly frustrating on a day-to-day basis to see the complexity of homelessness play out without solutions. This is the first opportunity to help direct people into a different path. And so I'm proud that we're able to provide that tool to our partners in law enforcement, our partners in behavioral health, our partners throughout the county. So with that, I'm going to have folks come forward to grab a shovel, and let's get this ground officially broken.